To react and pretend to be surprised is Marine veteran and Congressman Mike Gallagher. Congressman, this is the most predictable assessment ever, but it is extremely important.
Very important. A few things stand out to me in reading the report. One is that we demoralized the Afghan army by repeatedly announcing withdrawal plans for purely political purposes. Timelines that weren't conditions-based, they were politically motivated. The second is our decision to release 5,000 Taliban fighters in the summer of 2020, in the fall of 2020, further demoralize the Afghans. And then finally, over the course of a couple decades, we built and trained the Afghan army, but we made them entirely dependent on the support of U.S. contractors. In retrospect, that seems like a massive mistake, that we didn't think from the outset, okay, what are they going to do? How are they going to fight when we inevitably have to leave? So a lot of just really troubling claims in this report, but our work has only just begun in terms of the oversight and the investigations we need to do here in Congress.
If we just gave them air cover, they'd still be there, right? I mean, if we just let the contractors gradually go out and we let the NATO have a presence and there was a gradual release, we would not have the issues we have now. But here's one of the conclusions. U.S. CENTCOM assessed that the Taliban will likely loosen these restrictions over the next 12 to 24 months, allowing al-Qaeda greater freedom of movement and travel and train and everything else, and potentially reestablish external operations capability. So they're going to be part of the government. But we already know that. I mean, we have the Haqqani group with official positions in the government. The women are back kicked out of schools. They're in full burqas. This is like, oh, I'm just going to put that in your face. For 20 years, you wasted your time.
Well, and remember the lies that the Biden administration was telling us during the withdrawal, this fiction that, oh, well, al-Qaeda and Taliban are at war with each other, they're enemies. Okay, these groups compete from time to time, but they're aligned in their desire to kill Americans and our allies. And, your mention of over-the-horizon counterterrorism, over-the-horizon counterterrorism has enormous flaws. If for no other reason, and I say this as a former human intelligence officer, you need humans on the ground to generate the intelligence in order to guide your targeting and your strikes. So I'm very worried about a resurgent terrorist threat that could impact our own homeland.
Yeah, but Congressman, we left a lot of humans on the ground and left anyway, so maybe we'll ask them to work for us. The DoD came up with this conclusion. Without a presence on the ground, the DoD relies on aviation assets to collect intel, surveil terrorist targets, and carry out airstrikes. 49 of the DoD therefore require overflight agreements with another bordering nation to enter Afghan airspace. This is the conclusion. Over the horizon, airstrikes don't exist, all right? Real quick, there's something else you did yesterday, and that is learn more. For the first time in 50 years, we had a briefing on UFO progress and things we don't know. First off, what did you take away from the conference, from the hearings yesterday?
Well, I'm glad we did it. I appreciate the fact that DoD is taking it seriously. I appreciate the sincere effort to destigmatize the discussion, but I'm afraid we did not get any closer to the truth. I asked some basic questions about certain high-profile claims that are out there, and our witnesses couldn't answer and basically said to me they weren't aware of these claims. That was very troubling to me. To me, it suggests that they haven't done certain basic homework. So we have a long way to go. And for those that are skeptics of some of the claims that are out there, I just would say anytime you have things that are coming on our training ranges that our pilots are visually seeing, that presents a safety issue to our pilots. So even if you want to rule out, the extraterrestrial hypothesis or some other hypotheses, we still have to figure out what's going on our ranges in order to protect the safety of our pilots.
Hear you, Congressman. Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Please hold these guys to account when it comes to Afghanistan. That's an American embarrassment we're just not going to forget about. Thanks so much.
Thank you.